All right, we are recording. I have a live transcript going. So, although no one is here yet, that does not mean that I cannot record. So I'm going to start. I just want to make sure that there is no one here. Looks like no one is here as expected. That's fine. So let's start our presentation. I wanted to do live recording just in case anybody needed it, but for now, welcome to HMNS, or Human Services 2710, which is Diversity and Cultural Competency Skills, specifically in human services. I'm your instructor or professor, Leslie Fanning. And this was going to be a longer PowerPoint, but my external hard drive broke this morning before I was able to copy it onto OneDrive or this computer. So I had to restart everything I had done this past weekend, which is fine because today was more just about knowing the expectations and reviewing the syllabus, which for the most part you all are doing on your own. So for today, we're just going to do a course overview and introductions. Most importantly, my introduction. So first I'll show you an agenda, and already I know I need to change something, so I'm going to fix it. And we're not even at this part where we will get there today, but we're going to do introductions. We're going to figure out who am I. We're going to figure out what your discussions board is going to be. And then I'm going to talk about a beginning of year survey that I'm going to ask everyone to fill out this week. Then we'll talk about the syllabus, which is the most important. And I'm going to have you do a syllabus scavenger hunt on your own. And then I'm going to just call out a few points to review. And then I'm going to discuss your field assignment. After that, we're going to stop. I will likely send another lecture with a bit more content at the end of the week, because that is what I was hoping to add today instead of starting over. All right, let me get back to slideshow. Oh, my apologies. So who am I? This is me. One of the pictures you kind of know, although it's slightly different. That's me and Lonnie, the cat, here and here. There she is, just not helping me do work. And then here are some of my chickens. These are Buff Orpingtons. This is an Amber Link. They're very friendly people chickens, and I love them. But just to give you some background on myself, my background is actually in early childhood special education. My master's is in early childhood education with a focus on special needs from the University of New Hampshire. I also have a certificate in autism education from Rhode Island College, that I earned while I was living in Rhode Island. I've taught private Montessori preschool. I've been an interim daycare director, but the bulk of my time has been teaching special education populations. So in Rhode Island, I was a pre-K self-contained and integrated teacher in Providence and Coventry. I also worked for the Groden Center. I was, my title was Special Education Coordinator for Early Intervention, but that was just a glorified way of saying that I was the educator who facilitated playgroups for our toddlers with autism. That's a very generalized description. We did not always have students with autism, but they were mostly. And then after, my teaching and working with children and families directly, I went back to school and have taught several courses about autism and inclusive education for all ages, not just early childhood. So that's kind of my work background, and why I feel like I can teach this course. Here's the fun part. you know, clearly I love animals. That's already here. Aspiring farmer. But my background in terms of where am I from? I'm actually originally from New Hampshire. I moved to Rhode Island in 2012 with my partner. We lived in Providence for 6 years on the east side. I worked for Providence Public Schools in the Groton Center and Coventry schools while I was there. Then I went back to school to get a doctorate degree in education, focusing on special education and autism. But I didn't like North Carolina. Something to know about me is I love winter. I love bundling up. I don't like the heat. And North Carolina was just the worst. If you love the heat, it's perfect for you, but it was not perfect for me. So I moved back to New Hampshire in 2021. Also, some life changes happened that led to that move. But other than that, I love hiking and running. Oh, it says love my somewhat. It's not that I love them somewhat. It's that they're not technically my step kiddos. Their dad is my partner, and we are not technically married, but we do spend a lot of time together. They are 6 and 9. And then my favorite things, although I am an outdoorsy person, I also am an indoorsy person. I love sitcoms. I grew up on sitcoms, and I love MTV's The Challenge. I can tell you with complete certainty that if you brought up anything about The Challenge to me, it would be very difficult for me to stop talking about it. I would need a timer. It is my favorite thing, and I'm exceptionally knowledgeable about it. And then, you know, fun fact, something you probably wouldn't have thought of about me, I have been in an operatic production. I've actually been in 2. When I was in college, I sung in opera because I thought I wanted to be a classical singer or a music teacher, but that was not my path. So the reason I did this is because this is the type of information that I would want to know about all of you. What is your background? Are you from Rhode Island? Are you from somewhere else in New England? Are you from somewhere else in the Northeast? I know we have a lot of families who have extended family, maybe in New York City, who now live here. Or you could have family all the way on the West Coast. Who knows? I'd love to know more about you. I'd love to know what your hobbies and your favorite things are. And a fun fact, and this, I'm going to add this today. This is going to be your discussion board post for this week. Simply create your own introduction. It can be bullet points just like mine. 1 picture, you don't need 4. I just wanted kind of an introduction into my life living in rural New Hampshire and working in Rhode Island. And at least a fun fact, something that no one would guess about you. I have a few. I'll keep adding them as the days, as the weeks press on, just because they are interesting and maybe you'll be willing to share. Okay, so this will be your discussion board post. This is my example. Oh, I thought I changed that background. I'm sorry. So something I wanted to talk about today before anything else is the Inspiring Minds field assignment or field experience, because that is a large component of this course. There are 18 to 20 hours of field experience required. It is not a situation where you find your own placement. All students will use Inspiring Minds. I have contacted them and sent them the roster. It is up to you to attend one of the following orientations. There's one this Friday and one next Friday. If you cannot attend, please let me know immediately. I will send this in an email as well. Additionally, you're going to need to complete a background check. That's anytime you work in any sort of setting with children and students or any sort of vulnerable populations. There are 2 choices I have here. They will do it at orientation. It's a little bit more, $11. Or the way that I had done it in the past, as all teachers have to, was through the RA. Attorney General's office, and that's $5, and they're very quick. They actually use, you have to get fingerprinted, but it's not real ink, it's electronic, which is nice. If you've ever been fingerprinted the old way, you understand that's kind of frustrating. So that is your field experience. So the next is your syllabus scavenger hunt, which you will be doing on your own. Typically, I might have, if I had had my full PowerPoint, put on a timer. This time, I'm actually not going to do it. I want you to go about it yourself. And what I'm going to do is on Friday, when I add my content lecture, I'm going to add a specific lecture about points for the PowerPoint. Or not the PowerPoint, I'm sorry, points on the syllabus scavenger hunt. But because of my technical difficulties today, this is going to be the end of the PowerPoint because I don't want to go through anything else. But I would say if you have any questions, please let me know, and do not hesitate to email or come to, not email, message me on Blackboard or come to my office hours. Okay? Thank you.